Looking for some lighting options for your YouTube videos and indie film projects? Today I'm going to show you some of the budget-friendly gear that I use for my lighting projects. We're also going to show you a couple of lighting scenarios, also how you can light against a green screen. All that coming up next. Light is an important aspect of photography and video. Without it, you wouldn't have an image at all. Light can also help you tell a story. So let's start at the beginning. There are two types of light you have to worry about. The hard light shown here is actually being rotated around the face, and you can see that it casts very harsh shadows. There is a little bit of backlighting in this scene, however. Contrast to just hard lighting, this is an all ambient look, and you can see how flat the image looks. There's very little shadow. In lighting terms, hard light is actually called a key light, as shown here. Key lights are generally your strongest lights in wattage terms. For the other side of the face, we use what's called a fill light or fill reflector. In this case, we have a white fill reflector. Notice the softer shadows on my left side of my face. Here we have the same setup, except that the color is now gold instead of white. Notice the slight yellowing on the left side of my face. And here we have the same setup. This time it's a silver reflector, actually reflecting a little bit more light than the white reflector. And finally, we have a black reflector, which doesn't reflect light at all. It actually absorbs some of the light, so you'll notice the left side of my face is a little bit darker. So now we have a true fill light with no other lights on other than the backlighting for the green screen. This fill light is a lower wattage than our key light that we used previously, but we're also shooting through an umbrella. You should notice that the shadows are a lot less on the left side of my face. The key lighting is providing a much more even lighting effect on the left side of my face. And the final light is a hair light. Its basic function is to separate the subject from the background. Here's the same hair light, except that I've turned the backlights on for my screen. And here we are with the final result. Now I've actually cheated a little bit here because I have a green screen in the background that I've lit with two backlights. So in actuality, this is a 5-point lighting. However, if you don't have a green screen, you can use the simple 3-point lighting as shown in this diagram. So for budget-friendly setups, a 3-point lighting setup is really ideal. It's cheap, it's easy to set up, the lighting looks good. However, when you get into green screens, you're looking at 4 and 5-point lighting setups. The key here is that you want to separate your subject from the background. Generally, a 5-point light setup is more desirable than a 4, as the more light you have will separate your subject from the background. Most modern software can compensate for a 4-light setup, however, like Adobe Premiere Pro CC. this is our final 5-point lighting setup diagram. As you can see here, we have 2 lights that are backfill lights, left and right. The particular green screen kit I'm using is an Old Man Frodo kit. You can buy newer kits, which I've listed in my description below the video, but we'll talk about gear in a second. First and foremost, the green screen. I'm using an Old Man Frodo green screen kit. Now, it's not available anymore, however, there are alternatives. The kit basically comes with 2 stands, a crossover bar at the top, and some clips. I purchased the green screen fabric itself separately, and you can buy those in my description list below. For my main key light, I'm using the 5-socket light head. This is a good option because it allows you to change bulbs. It also allows you to change bulbs of different color or different wattages. It can also fit on any light stand. I do recommend getting a set of green screen clamps because they keep your green screen stretched so that you don't have any wrinkles. Light stand adapters are also another good option because they allow you to adjust your lights. For backlighting and the green screen, this Husky LED work light is really handy. And finally, picking up one of these dual socket heads for your fill light, plus an umbrella or a softbox is a good option. So after all this, my advice is basically to try and play with light as much as you can. But set up the way that works for you. I mean, I'm in a small space and this is the setup that worked for me. It may not work for others. So just play around and have some fun with it. Light really is an interesting subject and I've been fascinated by light for quite a while now. Not only that, light is the basis of basically everything we do to create an image. So whether that's creating a horror type effect with lighting or whether that's just simply lighting a person for an interview. There are tons of different things you can do with light and I encourage you to try and test them all. Well, that's the end of the video for today. If you like this video, please give us a like down below. Also consider subscribing. If this is your first time here, please hit that notification button after you subscribe so that you don't miss anything in the video. Once again, thanks for watching. Talk to you soon. Bye.